The next morning, someone knocks on our door. Guess who, ladies? I recognize that voice. I swing open the door to find Donald! Hey, Virginia says as she joins us out in the hall. They let you out? Yeah, Donald says with a grin. It's all good. So what happened? I ask anxiously. Weird story, actually, Donald says. Apparently, Barbara roams around the halls at night practicing ninja skills. Virginia looks dubious. She's a ninja now? Who's a ninja? Ellen asks as she appears in the doorway. Barbara likes to practice throwing knives when no one's in the halls to get in her way, so she does it in the middle of the night, Donald explains. That still doesn't sound safe, Ellen argues. What's that got to do with a fire? Virginia asks. So, she's doing her ninja routine. She ducks and rolls, strikes a pose, and she fires a little spark at a door she's using for a target. Except, here's the weird part. The rest isn't weird. The door bursts into flame, goes up like a torch. Ellen looks concerned. Our doors are that flammable? They shouldn't be, Donald replies. That's why it's weird. Virginia wrinkles up her nose. This story sounds fishy. Donald grins. Hey, ask the professors if you don't believe me. She gave them the memories and everything. Barbara acts so tough all the time, but one little surprise and she ran like a rabbit. Actually, I guess she did well. She was startled, but she thought ahead enough to make a bang and wake up the falcons before she ran. Otherwise... And when she heard the rumor that I might be expelled, she decided to come forward. So, I guess that's kind of brave after all. Are they going to expel her? I ask. Nah, it was an accident. She had no idea that would happen. There was something wrong with the door, and that wasn't her fault. But what was wrong with the door? Ellen asks. Donald shrugs. Nobody knows. Must have been a random magical fluctuation or something left over from a spell or prank in the past. Virginia turns to Donald. Yeah, well, I'm going to say this only once, so you'd better appreciate it. I'm glad you're okay. Donald grins. Aw. Come on, Ellen says as she heads back inside. We need to get ready for class. Yeah, I should go, Donald says as he takes off down the hall. So, Donald's off the hook, but it's a very strange story. At least no one is getting expelled. On Friday, I head to the exam room at the designated time, and a disembodied voice immediately starts talking as soon as I enter the dungeon. In order to pass this exam, you must reach the exit before your opponent does. Good luck. I turn around to see that I am staring down a long hallway. Who is my opponent? Another student? A creature? I step forward and a hooded figure enters from the north. This must be the opponent. He appears to be an Iris Academy student, but his identity has been disguised. Face, hall badge, all hidden. This is a race to the exit, and I don't hesitate as I cast slow on the hooded figure so he moves more slowly. The hooded figure also performs a breeze spell, and I can tell the air is blowing to the east. That must be the way to the exit. I head east, only to find a pair of closed doors. I quickly cast open on them, and they burst open. Knowing my opponent must be right behind me, I quickly step into a corridor with hallways facing east, south, and west. I cast breeze and feel that it's headed south, but for some reason I step to the west, inexplicably finding myself going in a different direction than I had intended. What spell did he use on me to cause that? I quickly turn around on a reverse course, only to run into the hooded figure again. I quickly teleport M back north, towards where we started, as I race towards the exit as fast as my legs will carry me. I see this staircase up ahead and quickly climb the stairs 2 at a time and emerge from the dungeon, blinking into sunlight. Professor Potsdam smiles. Congratulations, Tori. For succeeding in your quest, you receive 5 merits. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other students to attend to. She hurries off to attend to another student. I guess I can go relax now. I head back to my room for a well-earned rest. On Saturday morning, I get up terribly early and deliver the mail and the allowances. Then I'm free for the day. I go to the library to study, but Minnie is nowhere to be seen today. On Monday, I'm making my way back from class when I see Professor Potsdam approaching me in the halls. Oh, Tori? Yes, Professor? Hello, dear. I was just wondering about your plans for spring break. Huh? I'm going home with my family. You are welcome to remain here, you know. Why would I want to do that? Perhaps you should come with me. She leads me out of the hall and into an empty classroom. I was thinking that it would give you some time to spend with Hieronymous outside of the classroom environment. Why? It's not like we're a real couple. No, not at the moment. However, Potsdam sighs, there are things you ought to know when you are dealing with that minefield of a man. When he was a young wizard, only a few years older than yourself, he had a sweetheart that he was very much in love with. Her name was Violet. She was a brilliant wild-seed girl. She was not raised in our traditions, and he had his own reasons for mistrusting them. They were young and foolish, and they disregarded all of the warnings they had been given. They crossed together into the other world. I shake my head, not understanding. What happened? An unguarded human soul passing through the spirit gate shines like a beacon to the darkest of fair folk. They were overwhelmed by goblins and carried away. Her spirit was drained before his eyes. My jaw drops in shock. That's awful. All these years, and Hieronymous has never forgiven himself. He left England. He refuses to enter the other world, and he has never allowed himself to fall in love again. Should you really be telling me all this? I ask nervously. I know he doesn't like people prying into his personal life. But you're not just anyone, my dear. You are his wife. He does his best to keep people at a distance, but you he can't get rid of so easily. So perhaps you can succeed where others have failed. I think this over for a moment as I play her words back over in my head. But you he can't get rid of so easily. Did Professor Grabiner really have feelings for me? He did take me to the Glen after my shift at the candle booth. And he had been thinking about me at Christmas time after she cast the affection spell. Was it really possible? If I was going to entertain the possibility of turning our contract into a real relationship, I had to find out more about him, and I knew implicitly that I was not going to get those answers from Professor Grabiner. You know a lot about when Professor Grabiner was younger, right? Tell me more. Why didn't he trust the traditions? Well, he was born to a magical family, but he was fostered out. That's quite common for witches and wizards nowadays. Why? Because of the other world. Humans who keep homes there must leave their children somewhere else. Some form communes and take turns living midside with the group's young ones. Others make friends of non-magical families and use them as foster parents, but they visit frequently. In Hieronymus's case, his upbringing was left to a series of hired employees, carefully controlled by the father he rarely saw. I believe he resented him for it. I can't help but frown. That sounds awfully lonely. Yes, well, I don't think he'd appreciate anyone feeling sorry for him. I think the two of you could make a lovely couple if you're willing to work at it. Be brave and clever, but not foolish, and who knows what might happen. Is she really trying to convince me to seduce my professor? Even if he is my husband? I suppose it's too late to change your plans for spring break, but do think about it. You are welcome to remain here for your future holidays. I don't know what else to say to that. Thanks, I guess, I venture, and she lets me on my way. I head straight back to my room, thankful that Virginia and Ellen appear to be elsewhere, and I have the whole room to myself. I pull my pillow into my chest and just lie there, staring at the blank wall in front of me. Was Professor Potsdam right? Did Professor Grabiner really have feelings for me? Did I have feelings for him? I thought I did, but he was my teacher. I never thought anything would actually lead to an actual relationship. I never expected that I would end up being married to him. Did I really want to completely skip dating and just jump straight into a marriage? I had never dated anyone before. I had no idea how to actually be in a relationship with anyone. Besides that, he was so much older than me. Judging by the letter his father sent, he expected that we would have children soon. But I was nowhere near ready to have children. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, but never in my wildest daydreams did I ever imagine graduating high school only to move into my teacher's room and start bearing his children. Maybe I was getting ahead of myself. I didn't even know if Professor Grabiner wanted children. He may have had feelings for me, but I didn't even know if he wanted to stay married to me. Maybe he would want to wait until I was older, until after I graduated, and then see where things went. I had no idea. The only way I was going to get any answers was to ask him, but I already knew that it was not a conversation that he was willing to entertain. The only thing I could do was wait and see if he would open up to me. I had a feeling I'd probably be waiting a while.